Hiya, it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today I thought we would take a look at Cricut Design Space. That's the design software for your Cricut Explore. And I thought the first thing that we would just take a look at is exactly how you can get your cuts and images that you want to cut, and maybe it might be a complete design, maybe it's just one simple image or one letter, however that constitutes itself. It's just, there's several different ways that you can do that. Now obviously the first thing you can do is you can subscribe monthly to Cricut Design Space, and then you have access to absolutely every single cut and every single design that is in their library, and I think it's something like 25,000 images, so it's a huge amount. I'm not sure of the cost. It would be something that I will try and look up and put in the blog post for you, but it's not something that I have done. I had plenty of cartridges, and when I set up my Cricut Design Space, it automatically linked, because you open your Cricut Design Space in the same name and email address, etc., as your Cricut account, and by doing so, if you've also done the same thing, which you should have done if you've used Cricut Craft Room, and then you've linked all your cartridges to Cricut Craft Room, what it will do is automatically, when you open your Cricut Design Space account, it will automatically link all those cartridges that you have put in the Cricut Craft Room across into Cricut Design Space. So immediately I got my Cricut Explore, I had all my cartridges in my Cricut Design Space. The other thing that I got was, as an Imagine owner, although I no longer actually have my Imagine, I also had they gave us basically access or use of all the Cricut Imagine cartridges and cuts as well. So the first kind of type of cut that you can get hold of and use is from your cartridges. How you get to that, and whether you use it because you've got hold of it because you've used Cricut Craft Room and it's transferred it across like it did with me, or you can use your Cricut Explore if you purchase a cartridge and you link your you can link your cartridge through the Cricut Explore to your Cricut Design Space. So you can, the first way of getting a cut is through your cartridge. Now obviously the next way is by making use of your Make It Now projects. Now you'll find your Make It Now projects on the very front page as you go in to your Cricut Design Space. So it's before you click on this create a new project, there's actually all these Make It Now projects, and you can see here, like for example, there's a lovely little lace floral card. Now I've done some videos on Make It Now cards and projects, so I won't go into detail of how you do that, but the actual making of the card. But what happens is, let's go into one that I think I probably don't have, which is soccer. Okay, so I'm logged in, but I don't own any of these images. But say I still want to make it now. If I then click to make it now, it will go through to a window that will ask me to basically pay for those cuts. So it just takes a few minutes to get itself sorted. So it's just bringing the cuts onto the virtual mat. It's now sorting the mats out that you get on the screen where it's going to do the cuts. And then it says, look here, purchase and go. So it's at that point that I would click purchase and then go ahead and make my project. So that is your second way of obtaining a cut through your design space. Okay, so let's get rid of that, and that should go back to the beginning. So yeah, we're get rid of that. So that's your Make It Now project. So now we go into create a new project. This is where you have a blank virtual mat. So here we have kind of virtual cartridges, and we can access them here, insert images, and what you have is basically at the moment it automatically by default goes on to all images, so it basically will show you every single image. You'll have to wait a few seconds for it just to catch up as you scroll down, but it will basically have every single image, and what it seems to try and do is put the relevant images near the front. So for example, coming up is Valentine's, so it's putting the Valentine type images at the front. You will be able to tell which images you already own. You can see here it says purchased, or in here you can see it's got, I have to move across, but you can see it's just got the price down the bottom there. So this is when you're clicked on all images. You also have something called all image sets. Now basically what they mean by a set is a cartridge, so it's basically all cartridges. So if you look here, you'll now perhaps recognise it. Three Birds on Parade, A Child's Year, Best Friends, this one Better Together. This says entitled because this is one of the Imagine cartridges that I didn't own, but I'm entitled to use because they gave it to me. So you can see now that there's all the cartridges, so you could go in and you could purchase a cartridge as a whole. You obviously can have a little, you can click on it and you can look at it, at what images are in that cartridge, and then even then you can still have the option of thinking, actually no, I think it's only one or two images that I want, and you can just click on that one or two images and line them up, and then you'll get that purchase and go tab come up again. So that's your two things here. So you've got all images, so you can go in and purchase an image individually, or you've got all image sets where you can go in and purchase a cartridge as a whole. Now the other two things, which is not really relevant insofar as that we're looking at how you purchase cuts and images, but just to look at these quickly, you've got My Images, which is basically, it's going to show you all the images that you own or can use, because what Cricut do is the same on Cricut Craft Room, is that there will be images that they allow you to use for a certain amount of time. So for a particular month, certain images are available to use for free. So as you can see here, there's some freebies right at the front here. So these are basically all my images. What I don't know, and I need to check, is it I've purchased, and I will check it in this, I shall just get it to come up. I purchased Anna Griffin's Kitsch, Christmas Kitsch cartridge from on my design space. What I don't know is whether it automatically does it the other way around and puts it into my craft room, because obviously in some respects it should do, because it should know that it's me, and I'm gonna have to, yes, it's there, so that's good to know. So if we purchase in Cricut design space, it will put that cartridge, in this case a cartridge, into your Cricut craft room. So I think that's quite useful to know. So that I hadn't really thought about that, because I had been thinking that if I wanted to have the cartridge in both the design space and the craft room, that I would need to go to the Cricut store and then purchase. So then just going back to here, we've got My Images and also My Image Set. So that's the same again. We've got the cartridges that we've purchased or downloaded, etc. So those are all the cartridges that I own. Please don't be horrified. Okay, so that's basically it. That's very easy to purchase a cartridge or a cut for your Cricut Explore. And I hope that that's helped, and I will see you again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!